They liked it when I wasn't around. Okay? You come back from Hamilton to Timmins. You give birth to me. Terry's in Hamilton. So whenever she came down from Hamilton to Timmins to visit her mom, and I happened to be here, she found that annoying, but she said, I'll take some photos to make it look good. So I can rub it in Thomas's, Francine's face, and it makes it look like that he missed out on a good family. That's all that was, Mom.
Yeah.
Up until the age of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we lived in Timmins, right?
Yes.
And she lived in Hamilton, and she wants to say, I was too far away, what could I do? Well, every time you came to Timmins, I believe that, Mom, each and every single time she came to Timmins to visit her mom, each and every single time she came all the way to Timmins from Hamilton to visit her mom, she was like this. That would be an inconvenience if I had to see Thomas and Francine. Okay, so when we left when we were 9 years old, when we left and I was 9 years old and we went all the way to Sudbury, she probably thought to herself this. Well, that's nice. When I go visit my mom in Timmins, I won't have to bump into Thomas and Francine now. So when I came back when I was 15 and it was pre-planned, prepaid, pre-approved by the CAS, and I'm visiting Joe, well, she was living in Hamilton. She came all the way down here to visit her mom, and I just happened to be in town. She must have been shocked. What's Thomas doing in town? I thought that was over. Oh, it was pre-planned by the CAS. Well, let's take some photos. Let's make it look good. Let's make it look good.
Yeah. Because like she said, I can prove it with the photos.
Yeah. I got the pictures and videos to prove it. Okay, and that's when I'm 15. And then after that, a couple years later, you guys need help with Russell. So Lucy needs a break from Russell. So they choose you. Okay? They loved it that I wasn't around. Otherwise, Terry would be complaining. I want to move to Timmins. I'm too far from my nephew. Like, what was she doing with her life? She wasn't working. She wasn't going to school to benefit her life, like her new life, once she doesn't have Lucy and Frank. They weren't getting her a car. She was just cleaning. You know what I mean, Mom?
Yeah.
They could have went to the group home and said, we want Thomas. And hey, Thomas, we can get you out of the group home, but you're not going to be living in the city. You know that corner store that's so close in convenience, where you like to get your chips and your pop and your candy because you got your allowance? No, you're going to live real far in the woods. And you're going to have a lot of extra chores, more chores than just sweeping and mopping and taking out the garbage and doing the dishes. You're going to have a lot more chores. Are you sure you wanted to come with me? I would have said, yes, please take me. It was just, no, we don't want him around because it means work. Can you imagine PJ growing up, Mom, and the whole family saying, fuck off, PJ? Fuck off, PJ? Can you imagine that?
No, fuck no.
Can you imagine that? And then Terry has the nerve to tell you, Thomas could have became a lawyer. I know, if only he had all the support that PJ had. Do you know that, Mom?
Yeah.
Because I look back and I was thinking about her last night. That's why they're so upset. Because if I wasn't, look at this, Mom. Listen to me for a minute, please.
Then end it, okay?
Yeah, because
You're going all night and all day. She's gonna drive you fucking nuts, us.
this is unbelievable, though.
Let's get the fucking
I'm recording this. I just can't get over the fact that when I left Sudbury and when I leave Toronto and I go back to the group, when I leave Toronto and I go live with you, she starts making these videos and she starts to frame it like, even back then, this is your mom. This is your mom. But she wasn't saying it. She wanted me to clue it. She would make her video and you would see your YouTube account too. And that was just to get me to go, that's you, and then fuck off and go back to Sudbury. And the reason why, think about it. When I'm living in Toronto, I'm hearing you and Terry. Terry's going to you, Mom, when she passes. But Terry never comes up and talks to me about it. That means when I went back to Sudbury, Mom, Terry made those videos so then I would fuck off, think it's you, go back to Toronto. And then if I wasn't in your life all these years, Terry wanted you to move back to Timmins. Remember when she, let me just say this and then I'm going to end it. When she wanted you to move back here, okay, but then I came back into your life, and then they said, stay in Sudbury with you and your fucking kid. What she wanted is for you to move back here, just how she emailed me one time. And she said, your mother's going to move to Timmins. And when she does, and you come down to visit her, stay away. It was to get me to say, I'm not even going to come down to visit her. Fuck that. And then they would go, good. It was way more than when your mom moves down and you come visit her, stay away. Like, what do you mean stay away? Like, you mean when me and my mom go to Food Basics, don't go to Food Basics because then you would see me? No, they really wanted it where you moved down here, you helped with Lucy, and I didn't even come visit you. Because just for them to say, when you come visit your mom, because she's moving down here, stay away. Like, how do you stay away though? That meant don't even come down. But have me say that to myself. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So I'm just a big victim here of this family bullshit. I looked at the videos yesterday. Is it ever clear when you look back in hindsight that you gave birth to Stephanie and they didn't even freaking want her? They never even tried to get her. Like, well, Lucy and Russell went all the way to the Sudbury CAS and tried to get her, but how come they wouldn't give her? Because she already had her own kids taken away. Hey? And then when you move down here and then you give birth to me, just to think that they never complained. They liked it that I wasn't around. I was a responsibility. You give birth to me. You live here up until the age of 9. The only photos that Terry got is the photos when she was... If her mom didn't live in Timmins, and they lived in Barrie, let's say, Terry never would have came down here just to visit us.
The fuck no.
No, she only happened to be here. She would come here, she would go, oh, they're here. Well, let's take some photos, let's make it look good. Then later on, when they're arguing that they only have each other, well, your mom ruined it. I got the pictures and videos to prove it. You get it, Mom?
Yeah.
That's all that was. She found it an inconvenience. Coming here to visit. I just imagine her in Hamilton yesterday. I imagine her taking the bus all the way here, going to visit her mom, and going, I don't want to see Thomas and Francine. And that's what that was, Mom. That's what that was all of our lives. She always would come here from Hamilton, visit her.
Well, she told Lucy, don't let her know that I'm going to McDonald's.
Yeah, she would always say that. She's here, I'm going to McDonald's. Don't let her know that I'm going there. This is all this is. And then that's all in the past, though. And then Terry comes up to you and she says, you know, Mom's going to be passing. And I always found it a little odd. I found it very odd that Terry would be whispering and talking to you, but would never come up to me and say, you know, Grandma's getting older. Like, no, we don't want you involved. And I think she really thought, because I had my housing in Toronto, right? Like, you know how before I was homeless and she was saying, and there's a reason why she said, when you were trying to help me find housing because I was homeless in Toronto, and then she says this to you, no, don't help him. That was just thinking this. No, because something had happened to him in Toronto and then we won't have to deal with him.
Fucking apartment.
It was an apartment, Mom.
It wasn't a game.
No, don't help him. You know why she said that? Because
you want me to see you in the streets?
she wanted something bad to happen to me. So then they had your help. They wanted your help because they don't have anybody else to help. That's why she even came up to you, because they would like your help. But fuck, is it an inconvenience because he's around? That's all that is, Mom.
They can't fucking be nice to you though, eh?
No, they can't.
I gotta make calls.
Okay.